If you have received one of these emails, then you are one step closer to getting a job at P&J company. So in this video, we are going to talk about what is P&J online assessment. So before we continue, I want to remind you guys, please follow our YouTube video and subscribe to our channel. It has a lot of videos about P&J online assessment. And if you go scroll down, you will find a lot of tricks, examples, and also free tests. Okay, now let's go over the overview. So what is P&J online assessment? So this assessment has three parts. It's a peak performance assessment, an interactive assessment, and sometimes if you have applied for sales kind of jobs, then you have to do sales virtual job interview. And if you go back to peak performance assessment, it's an online assessment you can complete at any time you want, and also you can access it from your computer or your mobile phone and even your tablets. Now if you look at the interactive assessment, this is also online test which is available at 24/7, and you can access the test using your mobile phone, computer or tablet. And this test usually takes about 30 minutes to complete, and also it's available in 20 languages. And the last test, which is sales virtual interview, it's also online test which is available 24/7, and this one only has a computer accessibility, and this one approximately takes 60 minutes to complete and available in limited languages. And now we can talk about each of these tests individually. The first test is the peak performance test, which is required for almost all the positions at P&J, and a link will be provided by your email. And during this test, if you exit or the test got interrupted because of the power failure or internet disconnection, then you can start the test from where you stopped. So you can continue the test using the same link that they provided you in the email. And in this test you have 4 separate sections, and in each of these sections you can go back and forth, but not between the sections. Once you submit a section, you cannot go back, but within the section you can go back and forth. All right. And also you can see the item count on the top of your assessment. So the item count shows the number of questions you have completed and how many questions there are in total within each section. So all these questions required to be answers. You cannot skip any questions. All right. So that's why you have a lot of time to complete this section. And if you go to the other test, which is the interactive assessment, this assessment has 3 tests: the digit test, switch test, and the grid test. So in each of these tests, you cannot go back. Once you give the answer, that's it. And you have a timer which is 6 minutes. So each of these tests, so this one is the digit test, this one is the switch test, and this one is the grid test. So each of these tests you have 6-minute timer. So each of these tests you have to go as high as possible in terms of level, whether it's correct answer or wrong answer, but it's preferred to be the correct answer. So if you go higher levels, then you have a higher chance of getting an interview. So the same is true for this test, and this test is basically checking your memory capacity. So this one is also approximately 6 minutes, but this one is little bit different compared to these two. The last test is the sales virtual job interview. So this is basically if you apply for some type of sale type of positions, then you have to do this test as well. This is an online test. This is not a real interview. This is a test. So in this test you cannot go back to the previous question. It's like going forward. So we have like different categories in this test, like work with the customer and colleagues. This section has like 9 questions, and the second part is the analyze your business. This one has 8 questions, and the third part is the manage your week. This has like 2 situational questions. So this is basically more like a peak performance test, but it's a little bit different. And the fourth part we have what drives you. This has 25 questions. This is also more like a peak performance test. And the next part we have tell us your story. This one has 23 questions. This is also more like peak performance test. And finally you have describe your approach, which has 23 questions. This is also more like peak performance test. So that's it guys. This is the P&J online assessment. These are the basic structure of the P&J assessment, but it depends on what position you apply. So sometimes you might only get the peak performance test. Sometimes you have to do both peak performance test and also the interactive test, and also sometimes you have to do the sale virtual job interview. So good luck to you guys.